Part 40. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Luke Ixie. Chapter 391. Chapter 391 Secretly Raising a Loli. Lengrugio touched the injury at the corner of her mouth and explained, I was hit by something. Lengrugio was with that man in the afternoon, but when she came back in the evening, she was injured. Judging from the bruises, it was obvious that she had been beaten. Yewaiwei and Luo Yuxi looked at each other and knew she had lied. Xiaoziun asked the question just now. She didn't know anything about it, so she asked it frankly. Yewaiwei can't do it, but it's not convenient for them to interfere in other people's affairs. But when Lengrugio put on makeup and went out, I couldn't help but look at her more. Luo Yuxi's computer was buzzing. Yewaiwei leaned over to take a look and found that she was playing an online game. The game is a female character, wearing white clothes, looking like a fairy. She pointed at the game character and said, "This character is so beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? This ancient-style game is very popular now, and the fan culture is also well done. I like it very much." Luo Yuxi couldn't stop talking and fed Yewaiwei a wave of Mwei. The only thing that could be heard in the night was Yun Lai Wu. Luo Yuxi searched for videos on Bilibili to show her and plot songs on Qujiao for her to listen to. Hearing this, Yi was really attracted to it. Luo Yuxi struck while the iron was hot, Chiao, come and play this too. Anyway, I see that you usually play games on your mobile phone, so why not try online games? I've been looking at Taiba and people say they play games with roommates, and I also want someone to accompany me. Play. Yewaiwei touched his chin, it seems quite interesting. In this way, she was led into a new pit by Luo Yuxi. This game is really good. The picture quality is conscientious and the characters are exquisitely done. Luo Yuxi chose an adult girl, while Yewaiwei simply chose a cute Lolita. Luo Yuxi's occupation is to play the piano, and her only occupation is to dance with a fan. Wrong, she holds a sword. Luo Yuxi is a veteran player who has been playing for 3 years. Yewaiwei just joined the team and found a dozen teammates inside. Someone in the team is asking, whose trumpet is it? Luo Yuxi replied, don't make trouble, my roommate is a newbie, everyone will take care of her from now on. Yewaiwei took a closer look and saw that Luo Yuxi's game character was named Luo Baiwen. It still fits her own image. Luo, why do you want this ID? Hee, my parents often say that I am fat and white. I entered the game and randomly picked one. I can't call him Luo Bai fat, right? Luo Yuxi didn't seem to feel inferior about being fat. This makes Yi happy. Her friend is an open-minded and optimistic friend. Then she looked at her ID Chen Lingdang. Luo Yuxi also asked, why are you called Chen Lingdang? The bell is pretty good, but adding the character Chen is weird. Hee, secret. Of course it's because of Yezikin's Chen and the little bell's bell. In any case, Yewei started her game journey. When she first entered the game, she had to upgrade. By upgrading the equipment for fighting monsters, her whole body looked shabby and she didn't feel cute at all. Wow, Luo, why is your character so beautiful? If I had known, I would have played as a woman. No, look inside the mall, there are many beautiful ones, especially Loli, it's like planning your own daughter, every one of them is super beautiful. Following Luo Yuxi's guidance, Yewaiwei opened the game mall. There are a lot of things inside, and the prices are very expensive. A wig, a piece of clothing, and a gadget cost hundreds of dollars. It's so expensive I just feel that the game has a lot of data and it's too expensive to spend money to occupy the land. Luo Yuxi quietly took out her mobile phone and sent a message to Boss Yet. Next, please watch Mr. Yes' flirtatious performance. Brother Chen pampers his girlfriend. Tisk tisk tisk, you will be amazed in the next chapter. I have a girlish heart. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 392. Chapter 392, How do wealthy people dote on their wives? Boss Ye, Xiao Xiao has played a new XX online game. She feels that the appearance of her game character is not good looking. Text editing, click to send, target Yezikin. Ye Wei was doing a task when the system prompted her that a new email had arrived. An unknown ID sent me a game appearance. Ye Wei was surprised and said, "Wow, why would someone send me a game appearance?" Luo Yuxi chuckled and asked deliberately, "What's written on the email?" Ye Wei shook his head, "It's empty. Just wrote nothing." Luo Yuxi nodded and wanted to know what appearance a boss like Yezikin would choose to give to her, so she asked, "What appearance should I send?" I put the mouse on the appearance to look at the names, and found that the names were quite nice. She read the first appearance name, Feng Qingyu. Luo Yuxi nodded, "Feng Qingyu is the new appearance this month. The lowly one is well received. It's not bad. The second one, as clear as snow. What the hell? What's wrong?" Luo Yuxi explained, Qingrugjiu is a super fairy set in the game. It was limited time last year. The original price was 2 to 300. Now I can buy it from scalpers for 4 figures. The third one, phonology. What the hell? What's wrong? Yin Yun is the best looking blonde in the game, and now she's in 5 figures. The fourth one, return to the book. Damn it, it was the oldest limited edition appearance in the game. Many people didn't get it at the time, but now there are only a few left. The original price of 3 digits has been sold to 6 digits. By the time Ye Wei finished reading the first email, Luo Yuxi had already sat in front of her computer, gaping at the names. They are all limited time, limited quantities, and high prices. Luo Yuxi was amazed. Some players voted for the most popular appearance, and you are among the top 10 in the lowly appearance rankings. But why did you mail it to me? Is it wrong? Just when Ye Wei asked this question, the system prompted a new email. Another series of appearances came slowly. Just after I finished reading, I received another email. This game has a very hard-working appearance, with many appearances, but all of them are under the unique character account of Ye. Luo Yuxi almost couldn't lift it up in one breath. She sighed deeply at the boss, "This is such a rich man." Ye was the only one who looked confused. "What's going on with this game? I'm a little scared." She, a newbie who had just registered, was trembling after receiving so many high-priced appearances. Luo Yuxi put her chubby hand on the back of her hand, helped her move the mouse, collected the letter, and right-clicked to put it on, saying, "Don't be afraid, it's all from Boss Ye." "Yeah, boss." Luo Yuxi nodded, "Didn't you just say that your character wasn't cute enough?" "I just told Boss Ye that I didn't expect him to act so fast." I pointed at her, you. Luo Yuxi touched the tip of her nose, "I'm innocent." Unexpectedly, Ye Wei clapped his hands together and said, "Luo, you did a great job." She is just a teenage girl, who doesn't like the person she loves to pamper her. She has just played the game, and Yezikin showed off so many appearances. He is like a good Chinese brother. Brother Cheng. Ye Wei ignored the game and ran out to call Yezikin. "Brother, are these the game skins you gave me? What does it look like? The appearance of the game, isn't it you?" "Yeah. No. Is that so?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lukixi. Chapter 393. Chapter 393. Come to my room tonight. Yezikin teased her seriously, "I don't know what the game looks like." "Brother, the appearance of Chen Lingdang that you just asked me to send to ID has been completely finished. The person who was full of second-rate vibes was Suche. Ye Wai Wei. Yezikin. Ye Wai Wei hung up the phone without saying anything. Yezikin's eyebrows twitched suddenly, and Suche, the second fool, suddenly felt a strong force pressing towards him. Brother, if you have something to say, please tell me. Suche slowly backed away to the door, then ran out. He just wanted to tease the little girl, but in the end, he was ruined by the idiot. Also turned the joke into ridicule. Ye Wai Wei smiled and lay on the bed in the dormitory. Her brother Chen, who is so wise, finally got interested in making a joke, but she didn't expect that he would be dismantled in seconds. She had already foreseen what kind of consequences Suche would have. Ye Wei got up happily to watch his own game, and upgraded under the leadership of Luo Yuxi. She is still a trumpet, but she has joined the largest gang in the server. The reason is, Luo Yuxi is the deputy manager of the gang. Luo Yuxi plays games and is a thief. She has a sweet voice and a good personality, and she contributes to the gang. She takes her roommates to play games, and even a novice can open the back door. Joining the gang, many people welcomed her and gave her a YY channel number and group number. When a new person joins the group, the hundreds of groups are naturally lively and all welcome the new person. What else is there, new person? I am the love gift from your new gang, and the bound milk. Ye Wai Wei replied with a few cute pictures, and added a sentence, young newbie, please take care of me. Most of the old players find Xiaobai interesting and are vying to help her level up. Someone posted a screenshot of Yes Only game character, which is worth 5 or 6 figures in clothes and wigs. People in the group liked her and said, rich people please support her. Ye Wai Wei still doesn't understand the value of these game appearances. Even the appearances were chosen for her by Luo Yuxi. She didn't know what to say, so she replied in the group, Kik. People in the gang called her to go to YY. Ye has only heard that Luo Yuxi went to YY and wanted to talk to people online, but she didn't want to talk, saying that she didn't download YY and didn't understand it. The gang members instigated her to download it, and Luo Yuxi said, Chiao, I know you have YY, come on, it's just a vest, no need to turn on the mic. Hearing what she said, Ye Wai Wei felt relieved. She happily logged into YY and entered the channel. She heard the managers speak and gave her a red vest. Xia Ziun came in with a bag of fruit, put it on Ye Yuyi's table, and clicked on Ye Yuyi's mouse without noticing. Come, share it with you. Thanks. Everyone has a share. Thank you Yunyun. Xia Ziun handed out 2 things to each person and put them on his desk. At this time, Ye Wai Wei suddenly heard a boy talking in YY, those 2 voices just now, the baby voice and the Shea-Luo voice, they are so nice. So is Chen Lingdang's baby sound or Shea-Luo's sound, the baby's sound is so cute, and Shea-Luo's sound is so clean and sweet. As soon as those people spoke, Ye Wai Wei was so frightened that he immediately quit YY, and soon even the game was offline. Then she called Yezikin again. Brother, the game is so scary, I'm so scared. As soon as I heard Ye Wei mention the game, I was sitting in the game, bah. Yezikin, who was sitting at the computer desk, had a complex expression. So what? Ye Yuyi said, so, I want to go home, I want to see you. Come to my room tonight. Thanks for the reward of I'm hard to coax, Mr. Menmo, Tingyu Sun's Hung, don't forget Zikawa, Ziofen, 150*81 users. Int, ha 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 ha, brother Chen is not only arrogant, but also a sass. Is there anything I can do in my room? End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 394. Chapter 394 It hurts so much, brother. Then what's the benefit of me going to your room tonight? Leng Rugjia passed by and heard Ye Wei say, "Humph, you still have to wait for me in vain." Leng Rugjia heard the girl's coquettishness, the dark color in her eyes deepened, and she left silently. Ye Wei was completely unaware. She just took advantage of today's game appearance to get bold and wanted to tease Yezikin. She didn't expect that she would be teased back. Leng Rugjia was putting on makeup in the afternoon, and saw Ye Wei also tinkering with it. Ye Wei is naturally beautiful, with a face so smooth that you can squeeze water out of it. But a woman wants to look more beautiful when she wants to meet the person she likes, right? Luo Yuxi was playing games with snacks in her arms and asked casually, "Chiao Chiao, do you want to go out on a date?" Ye Wei was drawing her eyebrows in front of the mirror, and while drawing, she replied, "Yes, yes, I won't be back tonight." Her ambiguous looks were cast from all directions. Ye Wei didn't bother to explain. "Pack up your things and go out happily." Leng Rugjia followed closely behind and saw Ye Wei getting into a luxury car at the school gate. She clearly remembers that Ye Wei's parents died, it seems. Leng Rugjia had some calculation in her heart. Ye Wei took out his mobile phone leisurely in the car and said, "Uncle driver, are you going home now? Master Ye is still at the company and said he would be late." "Ha, let's go to his company then." "But Mr. Ye asked me to take you home." "It's okay, let's go to the company and wait for him anyway, the driver uncle will take brother Chen home soon." "Okay." This is Yezikin's dedicated veteran driver. He deeply understands that the only lady is the most important, and the boss is second. It has been more than 3 years since Yezikin started his own business. Their company has brought together many elites from the school who want to start their own business. Although it is a young team, its future development is immeasurable. Yezikin is the main planner, but the vice president is Su Tangzi. This is the only thing that makes Ye very anxious, but she can't blame anything willfully, after all, her strength is there. Yezikin's company is not big in scale, but it is definitely not small either. Ye Wei did not receive any despised treatment at the front desk, because they were all lovely ladies. However, they seemed unwilling to let her see Yezikin. There are often schoolmates who come to the company and want to see our Mr. Chen. They can do anything. "We really can't just take you there." Just when Ye Wei was debating whether to call Yezikin, Su Tangzi happened to pass by. "I know this person, let me take him with him." Unexpectedly, Su Tangzi would take the initiative to say that he would take her. Ye Wei sincerely thanked him. But after Su Tangzi brought her in, he asked her to wait outside. "I'm afraid he won't be in the mood to talk about things once you come in. Please wait for a while, and I'll handle the business." Su Tangzi said a few words and then opened the door and went in. Ye Wei stood by the door and saw their tacit conversation. After that, they were reading some computer information. It couldn't be finished in a few words. So annoying. Pouting his lips and muttering softly, he glanced towards the wall. She didn't notice that there was something pressed against the wall next to her. It was not a smooth surface. This collision. Boom. Ah. Yezikin broke through the door and walked out. Ye Wei held his forehead with tears in his eyes. It hurts so much, brother. Hug my little Belovo, why are you so cute and I want to throw you down. Today is Friday, Kaibeo, are you going to have a day off? Tomorrow night we will look at the weekly active list. The top 3 on the active list will be mailed physical gifts, handicrafts, snack gift packs, 2,000 book coins, of your choice starting from the first place, and the top 10 on the overall list will be rewarded with red envelopes. Rewards, messages, and recommendation votes will all increase the activity value. To Kaibeo who has reached 2,000 fan points. Disciple, please privately poke the administrator in the book club group at the age of 3.5 to join the welfare group. 520 Chinese Valentine's Day will send red envelopes in it. Which pair of CP small theater do you want to see? Please leave it alone in the book review area. Leave a message. I may write a few small theaters for Chinese Valentine's Day to satisfy your imagination. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 395. Chapter 395. Be gentle. All bleeding. Does it hurt so much? Ye Wei frowned. Be gentle. Yezikin. It must be bleeding. No blood. Yezikin sighed. It's just red. He just lightly rubbed the bruised forehead and showed her his hand to prove that there was no bleeding. Yezikin pulled the person in to apply medicine. He knew basic medical common sense. Actually, he had seen someone sneakily hiding by the door. When he was discussing the plan with Su Tangzi, he couldn't help but look outside. When he heard the little girl's voice, he rushed out. Unexpectedly. You can even hurt yourself standing at the door. So stupid. Brother, you are still mean to me. I don't know what else is at your door. She just felt a little sad in her heart and wanted to hit the wall. Who knew she was really hurt? Yezikin put away the medicine and stroked her hair with one hand. His voice suddenly became delicate and gentle. Okay, it's all my fault. Ye Wei, who had just complained a little, blinked twice quickly, feeling that his heartbeat was no longer his own. Suffering is a heart-pounding feeling. You sit here obediently. I have one last project to review. Yezikin placed her next to her and speeded up to complete today's work. Ye Wei stared at him blankly, and when he saw that handsome face, he suddenly felt that the wound on his forehead no longer hurt. Her hands were slightly clenched to hold her cheeks, looking shy. Yezikin could no longer concentrate and coughed uncomfortably. Ahem, you can do your own thing if you're bored. Ye Wei shook his head. I'm not bored. Yezikin couldn't sit still and walked towards her. He bent down and pinched her cheek. Are you showing off your cuteness? She thought it would be okay to watch quietly like this all day long. That day, the only thing that happened was that the night did not go home. The injury was still not healed when she went back to school the next day, so she covered it with her hair. When she got back to the dormitory, she pinned it with a hairpin and applied ointment to the bruise. Len Ruggiu saw her behavior and hesitated to speak. It was Luo Yuxi who said, Chiao Chiao, why are you injured? It looks so serious. Oh, it was all yesterday. Well, I just bumped into it accidentally. How could she say it so clearly that she injured herself because of jealousy? After applying the medicine, Len Ruggiu suddenly patted her shoulder and motioned for her to go out. Ye only follows inexplicably. Stopping in a deserted place, she heard Len Ruggiu speak first. You know those things too, right? What? Len Ruggiu opened her mouth silently and said only two words. The only thing Ye could see clearly was, Bao, support. Ye Wei's eyes were panicked. Neither she nor Luo Yuxi had any intention of exposing Len Ruggiu, but they were still discovered. Ye Zixi had that thought in her heart, but her nervous expression was taken as acquiescence by Len Rushui. Ye Wei sighed guiltily. You already know it? Len Ruggiu saw her affirmative admission, and a sarcastic smile appeared on her usually cold face. You admit it quickly. Yes, only promise was, I haven't told anyone else. Len Ruggiu understood that she didn't want others to know. Len Ruggiu nodded. There are some things that everyone understands. How about I introduce you to someone with more money? What, introduction? What does she need Len Ruggiu to introduce? Len Ruggiu handed her a business card. Here's the contact information. If you call me and tell me my name, you'll know. You dirty little trains, what you wrote on Kixi Festival is simple. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 396. Chapter 396 Jiao Ling's life experience exposed. Ye Wei accepted the business card Len Rugjiu handed her. On it was a man's name, Li Jiangguo. One look at this can make you think of the appearance of a middle-aged uncle. What do you mean? Ye Wei held up his business card, the guilty expression on his face faded, and he was a little unhappy. Len Rugjiu hesitated for a moment, with a trace of confusion flashing in her eyes, but she still said, "This man is rich, and he wants to change his taste recently. If you go, with your appearance, you can definitely." At this point, Ye Wei understood. "Len Rugjiu, do you know what you are talking about? Originally, I thought that individuals had their own personal difficulties. Even if they did something that was not very good, it was still their own choice. But now Len Rugjiu actually wants to drag her in? Have you ever had such a deceptive roommate? You are still admitted to this university. Did the education you received from childhood let you do this kind of thing? I knew it before but didn't expose you, but now, you have gone too far." Ye Wei glanced at the business card in his hand, threw it the ground, and showed his sarcasm without hesitation. "Don't think that others like to have their dignity trampled on as much as you do. This kind of person does not need to be respected at all." Len Rugjiu frowned and bent down to pick up the business card from the ground. Ye Wei returned to the dormitory angrily. She never imagined that the roommate she would spend 3 or 4 years with would be such a person. Luo Yuxi, who didn't know the situation, called her into the game. Chiao, please continue to level up. You are just a little bit away from reaching the full level. I can take you with me to do daily activities in the future. Wait a minute, I'll turn on the computer. 2 game missions have been logged in. A charming adult woman and a cute little loli are fighting monsters in the crowd to level up. Luo Yuxi suddenly received a call. Chiao, please wait a moment, my mother called me. When Luo Yuxi answered the phone, yes, only game character was waiting there. After a while, Luo Yuxi hung up the phone and said she was going downstairs. My mother gave me something, I want to go down and pick it up. Then I'll go with you anyway. Luo Yuxi needs to be with you to complete that mission. Luo Yuxi was very happy. The two of them went downstairs and saw a middle-aged woman. Luo Yuxi ran over happily. Luo, why have you lost weight since you haven't been home in the past few weeks? Lose weight, Mom, are you telling the truth? Stop trying to make me happy. You're really thin. Did you not eat well at school? How can you not? I have eaten well. If not, ask my friend. Luo Yuxi fell back and pulled Ye Wei to her. Mother Luo looked up and felt that the girl's features were quite familiar. Ye Wei greeted obediently, "Hello, Aunt, I am Luo's friend." Luo's mother tentatively asked, Luo's friend, what is your name? She smiled, my name is Jiao Ling. Luo's mother's expression suddenly became nervous. You're not from here, are you? Ye Wei nodded, well, I'm from S City. Luo's mother asked again, Jiao Liu, what's your mother's name? Huh, Ye Wei was confused. Luo Yuxi quickly smoothed things over, Mom, how do you check people's household registration? Mama Luo looked straight at Ye Wei and asked, little girl, tell me, what is your mother's name? Ye Wei hesitated for a moment, but still told her, my mother's name is Huaqian Hui. Bang! The bag in Luo's mother's hand instantly fell to the ground. Oh my God, I lost my crayfish. Open your imagination and guess what is the relationship between Luo's mother and Xiao Lingdang's mother? End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 397. Chapter 397 Yejia is your enemy. Miss Jiao, after all these years, I finally see you again. Mother Luo actually cried on the spot. Ye Wei opened his eyes wide, so auntie, do you know my mother? It was just a matter of helping my roommate carry something, but it turned into acknowledging a relative. Mama Luo said that she and her husband were both employees of Chiao's at the beginning. My husband and I were having some difficulties in life at the beginning, but it was Mr. Chiao who gave us the opportunity. The Luo family was originally from City S. Luo's mother was a nurse working in the hospital, and she happened to become Hua Qinhui's nurse. Mother Luo gave birth to her daughter and taught her her experience. After getting familiar with each other, Hua Qinhui felt pity for their family's situation and asked her husband to give them a chance in the company. Unexpectedly, Father Luo was very motivated, down-to-earth, hard-working and sincere. This original relationship between master and servant gave birth to a friendship, so the two families were very familiar with each other at that time. It's just that Luo's mother started wiping away tears after talking about it. It's a pity that God has no eyes and good people don't live long. Ye Wei felt uneasy as she listened to the past events that she once didn't know about. I originally thought that I would never have the chance to see you again, but I didn't expect that I would be lucky enough to meet you today. Thank you very much for your blessing, sir and madam. Auntie, don't call me miss. Her family has long been in decline, and she is no longer a rich lady. Qi Luo's mother shook her head and refused to change her words. No, your family was kind to us back then. No matter what happens to the Chiao family, you are still the Miss Chiao we respect. Luo Yuxi was very confused when she heard all this. Her good friend actually had such a deep connection with her family. Chiao, if it had been in ancient times, my mother would have forced me to kneel down and be your maid. Lolo, stop joking. No, 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 you are now the most important person in our Luo family. On this day, Ye Wei was invited to Luo's house. The Luo family almost wanted to worship her like a bodhisattva. Miss Chiao, Luo's father has something to talk to you alone. She walked to the backyard with Dad Luo without knowing why. Dad Luo looked at her deeply and knelt down directly. Uncle, what are you doing? Ye Wei reached out to help him, but Luo's father seemed to have roots under his feet and remained motionless. Miss Chiao, Luo Tianxiang, am sorry for you. Uncle Luo, you get up first. Ye Wei went to help him, but Luo's father refused to let him go. Miss, listen to me, there are some things that I have been holding in my heart for more than 10 years. Every time the dream comes back to me at midnight, I feel uneasy. I thought I would keep it buried for a lifetime, but I didn't expect that God would let our family meet you again. Father Luo, there is a profound meaning in these words. What do you mean? When Mr. Chiao was killed, someone deliberately suppressed him and wanted to acquire him. When Mr. Chiao refused, those people planned to use despicable means to kill him. Do you know who it is? Luo's father hesitated to speak. Ye Wei took a deep breath and said, Uncle Luo, do you know right? Tell me quickly, tell me who killed my father. There were several people who joined forces at the beginning. I don't know everything about it, but there is one person I'm sure of. It was your father's good friend back then, Ye Hantian. I felt that her legs were weak and she almost knelt on the ground. I knew it was related to the Ye family, but when I heard someone say it for sure, I felt so shocked. How can you prove that you had a good relationship with my family? She seemed unwilling to believe the answer. Luo Tianxiang was anxious. Miss, please believe us, I have evidence. Spoiler alert, in the next chapter, Xiao Lingdang will know that Grandma Chiao is her biological grandmother. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 398. Chapter 398. Mrs. Chiao is my grandma. Ye Wei's heartstrings tightened. What evidence? Miss, please come with me. Father Luo took her into the study and took out a photo album. The photo album is opened and arranged according to the annual calendar. Dad Luo rummaged through it very quickly, as if he had a deep memory of those things, but in the end, about a third of the way through, his movements slowed down. Look, miss. Papa Luo showed her the photos on those pages. There were 4 or 5 of them, and she could recognize them at a glance as those of her parents when they were young, when they were still holding a baby in their arms. "Miss, you were too young at the time and have no memory of us." Ludo's father found a few pictures, showing how her mother and Ludo's mother looked when they were young. At that time, one was holding a baby and the other was holding a 2 or 3-year-old child. It should be her and Ludo Yuxi. There are some records written in pen characters at the back. The only thing Ye recognized was her father's handwriting. She has been collecting some of the relics left by her parents, and occasionally takes them out to look at. The handwriting on them is exactly the same as the one in this photo. Actually, with all this, she had nothing to doubt. It turns out that it was all true. Ye Wei looked at the photo carefully, caressing his parents' faces that had been frozen in time, and felt so soft in his heart. Although there are not many, those few photos are full of memories. She almost shed tears when she looked at it, and her fingers suddenly touched a photo of a ward with several people standing in the background. There are her parents and her as a newborn, as well as what Ludo's father and Ludo's mother looked like when they were young, and there is another one, who looks like Grandma Chiao. Just like Grandma Chiao when she was young. Yayoi pointed there with his finger, trembling a little. Who is this? Who is this person? Papa Ludo lowered his head and took a closer look. "Oh, this is your grandma, Mr. Chiao's mother." Hearing Ludo's father's explanation, Ye Wei's hand suddenly slipped from the photo album. "That person is my grandma." "That's right, when you were born, that elder appeared once. I didn't know him very well, but I remember this photo clearly." Ye Wei shook his head. She simply couldn't believe it and didn't dare to accept the truth. How can that be possible? It is basically impossible for her face to change drastically between her 40s and 50s. She was convinced that the person in the photo was Mrs. Jiao, whom she had met a few years ago. How could it be? How could it be her biological grandmother? At the beginning, what did they say? Mrs. Jiao said that Li Mo'er was her granddaughter. Nangong Luo said that Li Mo'er's grandmother had passed away long ago. Yezikan said that Mrs. Jiao recognized Li Mo'er as her granddaughter because of her cooperation with the Ye family. After going round and round, it turns out that Mrs. Jiao just happened to like Li Mo'er. Or was Mrs. Jiao's original intention to come back to look for her? Miss Luo Tianxiang called her twice but couldn't get the memory back. Seeing her in a daze, he thought she was recalling bad things in the past. "Miss, don't be too sad, the matter has passed." "How could the past pass? My father, his death was not a natural disaster but a man-made disaster. Do you know that I have wanted to find the murderer of my parents for how many years? She left the stable life of Yejia, and she worked hard to get into this college, not just to follow that person. Just because she doesn't say it doesn't mean she has forgotten the Jiao family's hatred. It's impossible to pass. Uncle Luo, tell me. Tell me everything you know." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 399. Chapter 399. Another daughter of the Chiao family. After leaving the Luo family, Ye Wei left everyone behind. She returned to City S quietly, planning to find Mrs. Jiao. She wanted to ask if Mrs. Jiao still remembered her granddaughter and the things about her parents. She and Mrs. Jiao usually met by chance, and she never thought of leaving her contact information. Now she wanted to find it, but she didn't know where to start. She didn't even know if Mrs. Jiao still had contact with the Ye family. With no basis, she went to Yes Group in confusion. Perhaps God is wise and she was so lucky to bump into Mrs. Jiao's assistant Pei Yuchen coming out of Yes Group company. Ye Zi did not dare to stop at all and chased after him. Mr. Pei-Yuchen, wait a minute. Pei-Yuchen paused when he heard someone calling his name. When he looked back, he saw that it was the little girl who was particularly destined to his old lady. Pei-Yuchen stopped there, waiting for her, and asked politely, Miss Jiao. I. I was about to say something, but I felt that my mind was blank, and I didn't know how to speak with thousands of words. I want to know why you, Mrs. Jiao, recognize Li Mo'er as your granddaughter. Pei-Yuchen focused on the name. What is Li Mo'er? Don't you know? Ye Wei remembered that Li Mo'er reminded her that she had changed her name. She explained to Pei-Yuchen, the same Ye Mo'er she is now, she used to be called Li Mo'er. Pei-Yuchen frowned and his voice suddenly became serious. Li Mo'er. Your surname is Li? Not Jiao. Ye Wei opened his mouth slightly. Why do you want to be named Jiao? When Pei-Yuchen reflexively asked her that question, Ye Wei had an answer in his mind. They must have found out that the Jiao family's daughter was adopted by the Ye family as an adopted daughter, but they didn't know that the adopted daughter's identity had already been changed to someone else's. Ye Wei guessed the truth from Pei-Yuchen's words, and Pei-Yuchen also found a flaw in Ye Wei's question. So, why did Miss Jiao ask that question, or what did Miss Jiao Lian plan to tell me? Ye Wei bit her lip, closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She opened her eyes and looked at Pei-Yuchen, and slowly opened her lips. What if I told you that I was the adopted daughter of the Ye family? Pei-Yuchen was shocked. At this moment, Mrs. Jiao is waiting for Li Mo'er's arrival at home. In recent years, Li Mo'er, who knows the truth, has been able to get close to Mrs. Jiao, and coax Mrs. Jiao into spinning around, who wants to compensate her granddaughter. She even has the location of Mrs. Jiao's residence in City S, and can enter and exit at any time. When Mrs. Jiao received a call from Pei-Yuchen, she was cutting fruit leisurely, waiting for her granddaughter to arrive. Pei-Yuchen acted very seriously on the phone. Madam, I want to tell you something now, which may be a bit unbelievable. Pei-Yuchen conveyed all the contents of his conversation with Ye Wei to Mrs. Jiao. Mrs. Jiao was shocked. You mean, Jiao Lian is my biological granddaughter, the so-called Mo'er is actually completely fake. As soon as Li Mo'er walked to the door, he heard Mrs. Jiao saying such words alone in the living room. Li Mo'er pushed his feet out and carefully hid outside to eavesdrop. She couldn't hear the specific content, but she knew from Mrs. Jiao's words that her identity had been exposed. Li Mo'er didn't believe in evil, so she hurried back to Ye's house. When it was confirmed that Mrs. Ye was not there, Li Mo'er quietly stole the key and entered Yezikin's room. Want to recognize your relatives? Tomorrow night we will look at the weekly active list. The top 3 on the active list will be mailed physical gifts, handicrafts, snack gift packs, 2,000 book coins, of your choice starting from the first place, and the top 10 on the overall list will be rewarded with red envelopes. Rewards, messages, and recommendation votes will all increase the activity value. To Kaibeo, who has reached 2,000 fan points. Disciple, please privately poke the administrator in the book club group at the age of 3.5 to join the welfare group. 520 Chinese Valentine's Day will send red envelopes in it. Which pair of CP small theater do you want to see? Please leave it alone in the book review area. Leave a message. I may write a few small theaters for Chinese Valentine's Day to satisfy your imagination. End of this chapter. My green plums are super sweet. Author, Lu Kixi. Chapter 400. Chapter 400. Grandma Chiao was pushed downstairs. While Mrs. Ye was not at home, Li Mo'er stole the key and sneaked into Yezikin's room. Li Mo'er opened the box and saw the bell bracelet lying inside. She hurriedly wrapped the bracelet with something, and took the bell with her when she went to see Mrs. Jiao. She is not afraid. Because Mrs. Jiao has never told the truth, even if she is exposed, she can stay out of it. After all, She can say that she only recognized her as her grandmother because she thought this old man was good. Lee Moore put on the bell and shook it gently. This thing seemed to have been maintained regularly. Although it has been worn out over the years, it can still be seen that it was made very delicately. I really envy Ye Weiwei. Before she was 7 years old, her loving parents pampered her like a little princess. After she was 7 years old, Ye Zikan, who loved her, turned her into the golden branch of the Ye family. Even after she left the Ye family, there was an identity grandma looking for her. Judging from the effort Mrs. Jiao has spent on her over the years, it can be seen that the old man wants to compensate his granddaughter. If Mrs. Jiao knew that she was not, wouldn't her preferential treatment and benefits be lost? Yejia is not far from Mrs. Jiao's residence in City S at that time. It was the land that the old lady deliberately bought at a high price to be close to her granddaughter. So now it's still too late for Li Mo'er to go back to Ye's house and rush over. Mrs. Jiao sat in the living room after finishing the phone call with Pei Yuchen. She felt inexplicably uneasy. Many things suddenly had explanations. She finally understood why the father Jiao Li mentioned had similar hobbies to her son. She finally understood why Jiao Ling was allergic to cats like she was. She finally understood why she felt so familiar when she saw Jiao Ling. It was all because, the girl named Jiao Ling was her granddaughter. Mrs. Jiao was confused and at a loss. Suddenly, she heard the sound of the door opening. Li Mo'er pushed open the door and walked in. Everything here was as familiar as if he were at home. Li Mo'er greeted her obediently as usual, "Grandma, I'm here." If it had been in the past, Mrs. Jiao must have walked over enthusiastically. But now, Mrs. Jiao sat motionless in the living room because she felt embarrassed facing Li Mo'er. Li Mo'er pretended not to know. The sound of the bell on her hand was crisp and attention-grabbing. "Mo'er, what's that on your hand?" "Oh, Grandma, you ask this. This is a bell bracelet left by a sister who used to live in Yejia." Mo'er thought it looked pretty, so she wore it. Who knew this thing was too small? Mo'er was anxious. "I came to see Grandma, so I didn't take it." Yes, Li Mo'er just wanted to expose Ye Weiwei's identity as her biological granddaughter before the truth was revealed, so that Mrs. Jiao might be grateful to her. After hearing this, Mrs. Jiao sighed and walked up the stairs holding onto the guardrail. "Mo'er, I'm sorry, Grandma is feeling a little unwell today and wants to go upstairs to have a rest." "Ah, Grandma is not feeling well? Do you want Mo'er to call the doctor now?" Li Mo'er hurriedly caught up. Mrs. Jiao gently waved her hand away. Li Mo'er felt anxious when she saw that Mrs. Jiao was rejecting her like this now. Li Mo'er pestered Mrs. Jiao to show her concern. "Grandma, don't be like this." As the stairs were rushing, Mrs. Jiao took a step up. Li Mo'er pulled her, and Mrs. Jiao suddenly fell down the stairs. "You haven't left a message for Chinese Valentine's Day even after reading the book. You really don't love me anymore, kak. Which CP small theater do you want to see? You can leave a message in the book review area, and we will give out benefits at Kixi 520. End of this chapter.